What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I want to talk about why I feel like Johnny Cage is still the best character in the game. And I'm going to try to break it down like piece by piece because people compare these two characters a lot right here. They compare Johnny Cage and Kenshi, who's the real best in the game. And I'm going to break it down why I think it is Johnny over Kenshi. And there are a couple reasons for that. So, since you start off in the character select, let me talk about the first thing that is not the most important thing at all. It's the synergy with assist. First of all, Johnny synergizes with so many people just because he's such a broken character. Like overall, he synergizes with so many people. Let's talk about everybody that you can use Johnny with optimally. We'll start from here. You can use him with Striker, he's still meta. Sub Zero, he's still meta. Kung Lao, yeah, whatever Crybaby is about the nerf, he's still meta. You can use him with Mataro, he's still meta. You can use him with Goro, he's still meta. You can use him with Frost. Not meta, but I would say it's still decent. You can use him with Frost. You can use him with Sector, still meta. You can use him with Sonya, still meta. You can use him with Kano, still meta. And you can use him with Yellowbot, still meta. That's 10 assists that you can use this character with, if I'm correct. Now, let's go over to Kenshi. Who can use Kenshi with? You got Frost, meta. Sub-Zero, meta. Yellowbot, meta. That's all. Those are the only assists you can use these characters. Those are the only assists you can use Kenshi with, and it's still meta. Now, if that's a big deal to you, then that's something that's very important if you want diversity in your, you know, assist picks and everything. But that's just something I wanted to point out early, but I do think it's the least important thing before somebody comes in the comments honing in like, oh, that doesn't really matter. I'm not saying that it matters a lot, but I know that is important to some people, so I'm just going to put that there. So the thing about Johnny, why I think he's the best in the game, is because he just has way too much going for him. I've made a whole video talking about it, but to quickly go over it again, he has just too much in his kit going for him and not enough weaknesses. Like, the only weakness that you can really say that this character has, and that's still pushing it, is he has to deal with projectiles. That weakness does not matter in a game where you can give everybody a projectile. That weakness is irrelevant. And he still has this right here. You literally have to walk like half a second forward, and this goes like the rest of the way. This character does not get zoned out. So that's the one thing Johnny players like to bring up when they're talking about him. Like, he doesn't have a projectile, and that's literally the only thing. He has like everything else. And on top of that, he has some of the best pressure in the game. Okay. See, this is how when you know a character is broken. I talked about this in the past because I don't throw around the word broken loosely. I feel like it's really bad to throw around that word. That should be a word that we reserve for people like Johnny. Like, broken is when if I say a character is broken, I'm being very serious because I don't throw that word around lightly. Like, I might throw around overpowered because there are a lot of characters that are overpowered. But to actually say broken is a big deal to me, and I honestly think Johnny is broken. And how you know a character is broken is when they are the best at too many things in the game. He has the best defensive options. He has a 6-frame poke. He has a parry. He has a wake up, and his super. That's 4 defensive options. Oh wait, my fault. 5. The nut punch. Meter burn nut punch. He has 5 defensive options. Oh my gosh, like even starting off his strengths is crazy. 5 defensive options. I didn't like honestly at the time recording this, I didn't even realize they were 5. He has 5 amazing defensive options. That's one thing right there. Just that alone, you give those 5 defensive options to anybody in the game, they're annoying to deal with. Okay, then on top of that, we have He has one of the best jump ins in the game. Probably not sure if it's the best, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. The jump in is amazing. Like, it's really hard to anti-air. You have to up block it. You're standing one, and or unless you have a really good confirmed anti-air like Ashura standing two or Katana standing two, it's not beating these. So keep in mind. So that's, we got the best defensive option so far. He has the, I want to say you can say the best jump in if you're not saying Shao Kahn. So then he has the best pressure in the game. Pressure is insane. Like, he gets in your face, spams this, he's like, hold up. Plus. Really good stagger, because you got to guess. Like, really good stagger. And then you got to guess after this, too. Like, just plus frames everywhere. Like, he has a crazy amount of plus that you have to deal with. He has the best pressure in the game. And like the best offense. Can you say the best stagger pressure? I think you can say that because he can do this all day, and you got to sit here and guess he's going to go into the low overhead, or is he going to just do the overhead? And yes, you can up block the overhead, but that's still something he makes you have to look out for by just pressing this. So yeah, I can say he has the best, some of the best plus frames in the game and the best pressure that you have to deal with in the game. So best offense, best defense, some of the best initiation, because hide behind this, doing that, like, he has a really good grab. So we've already talked about, I keep reiterating this because it's very important. There's so many things that's the best. Best defense, best offense, one of the best jump ins, and the best movement in the game. Like, you don't even have to wave dash with this character. You could just do like that real fast. You don't even have to really wave dash like I just did there. You could just dash and block, be lazy, because his movement is so dumb. So best movement, best offense, best defense. How is he not the best? It makes no sense. His offense is crazy. Now, you can say he doesn't have the best 50-50s in the game, because let's segue over to Kenshi. So the only thing you can't say that Johnny has is the best 50-50s in the game, but that's not really what this game is based around on. Like, ever since MK10, the ending of MK10, NRS hasn't been a game where they tried to flood with 50-50s in a long time. So the one thing you could say he's not the best in doesn't matter. And you obviously can't say he's the best zoner, but he is one of the best at getting around it. Like, even because people might not agree with that, but he still has this move right here that you have to deal with. People are like, oh, you can duck it. It's the fact you have to duck it. Like, that gives him something else to look out for, too. That's mind games. Like, when you're trying to duck it, like, just this split second right here, if you looking out for this kick, that's one dash. That's literally one dash or one wave dash. He's in. He's in your face just because you're scared of this. Like, ignores neutral, no problem, with an assist as well. He gets in, no problem. So stop saying the projectile thing is a weakness. It's not a weakness. Like, he doesn't need a projectile. Like, him having a projectile would make no sense. And he's perfectly fine without it. Perfectly fine to understand. He's the best in the game. But like I said, to segue to Kenshi, why do I think Kenshi is not the best in the game? Because I feel like Kenshi is a character that people default to being the best in the game, and I feel like they do that because it's easy. It's easy to play your dumb top 5 character and then go ahead and throw in the character that a lot of people will never be able to play optimally and will never take the time to go learn him, just because he's easy to throw up there. Oh yeah, we'll just say Kenshi's the best because, you know, a lot of people can't play him anyway. So you can run around with your top 5 character and feel good about yourself, and you could just throw Kenshi up there because a lot of people aren't going to play him and learn the character. That's really what it is. Like, we're just going to throw Kenshi up there. It's easy. Kenshi is not the best in the game. And simply why I think Kenshi's not the best in the game, because this is going to sound awkward because I just said he's not the best. It takes a win condition for him to be the best. That makes sense. Johnny is the best in the game just because you picked Johnny. Johnny won at the character select screen. You picked the best character in the game right there. For Kenshi to end up being better than Johnny, Kenshi has to have a win condition. What is that? The win condition is when he hits you with Let me go ahead and swap this over to make this easier to deal with. Okay, so when Kenshi hits you with the Sento pressure into this right here, this is when Kenshi's the best in the game. Kenshi has to be in a second stance with Sento out to be the best in the game. So that's why I don't think he's the best in the game, because he has to put you in a position to be the best in the game. And this might sound crazy to some people that have never learned Kenshi, but Kenshi is a character that has to work to open you up. Now, I know some people might lose their mind because they said that, but it is true. Kenshi, in this stance right here, his first stance, he has to work to open you up or wait for you to make a mistake, because he doesn't have, a good way to just open you up initially, unless he does like something unsafe like that, because like he just doesn't have a good way to open you up. And that's fine, because once he goes into this, he's the best 50-50 character in the game. So the duality is fine. So why I simply don't think you can put Kenshi as the best is because he's not the best until you're right here. And that's a win condition that you have to get to. I feel like base Johnny is better than him, like, until you get to this. When you get to this is dumb right here. When you get into, the whole pressure into that is really amazing. Ain't nobody saying that's not good. Like, that would be dumb to say it's not good, but it's still the fact that he has to get to a win condition to be the best. So that's my simple reason why I think Johnny is better, because Johnny, just by picking Johnny, you got the best in the game. To get the most out of Kenshi, you have to get into something that isn't guaranteed, even though it's strong when it's working, but it's not guaranteed. You still have to get here. When he's here, he's the best. He really is. He's way too good when he puts you in that setup win condition. But you can argue a lot of characters are good when they put you in a certain position. This position is, when he does this, like when you are sandwiched in between Sento, not just Sento being out like this, like not that, has to be sandwiched. He is insane. So that's basically the whole thing of it. I think Johnny is like broken, and I do think Kenshi is broken when he gets you to this right here. But he has to get you to that to be broken. Like, Kenshi is 3 different tiers in like one character. When he's in like this form right here, he's like A plus. When he is right here, when he got you sandwiched with Sento, he's S plus. He's broken. Debatable the best when he's like right here. And then when he doesn't have Sento at all, let Sento go away right here. When Sento is gone, then he is, I think he's like B tier in this form, honestly. Like, you have like unsafe 50-50s. You still got the 50-50s, but they're unsafe. You have okay strings, but this form, you really just want to use this to get back to Sento as quick as possible, honestly, because this form is not all of that. And this form is what solely stops some people from playing Sento. Like, this form is just like, it's cool, it can still get the job done, but this is its weakest form. Kenshi has 3 forms: this, Sento, and then this without Sento. So that's all I pretty much got to say about, the whole comparison. That's why I still think Johnny's the best. And like I said, if you're a Johnny down player and you think people are overrating him, you're just wrong. That character is dumb, and I'm not even gonna begin to hear that stupidity. Like, the one thing I will hear is people debating these 2 characters. If you think Kenshi's better than Johnny, I'm not gonna be mad at you. Like, I'll like hear out the reasoning, but I have my own reasoning why I think he's not, which I just gave. But saying that like Johnny isn't debatable the best is like just saying Johnny is anything but top 2 is just crazy to me. Like, I will not even begin to have a conversation with somebody that doesn't think Johnny is like broken or overpowered. Like, because I'm not going to, debate something that stupid. I just won't. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.